Inside of our private Facebook group community, I typically post a question every week, and I just call our conversation for the week. And so I post a question, and I had asked the owners in there, and I said, what is one hard lesson that you feel like you've learned, being an owner of a childcare business? And so we had just loads of conversation happening on that post. And one person said, wish that they would have like really started out with more of a clear vision in regards to how they wanted their classrooms being managed. And they really wish that they had a way to ensure that staff was consistent with the management of what happened every day inside the classrooms. And so they were actually, they actually said they wish they had a checklist. And when the word checklist came up and I read that, I was like, oh my goodness, I have a checklist that I did when I ran my center. And so I went in and I updated the checklist and freshened it up for everybody. And so I'm going to go over that with you today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about today's video. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my daily classroom management walkthrough checklist, and I'm so excited for you to have this resource. But before we jump into today's video, welcome. My name is Ashley Benz of ashleybenz.com. I'm the founder and creator of Childcare Business Executive Tools, and I help the exhausted, overworked, burnt out childcare business owner, preschool owner, home childcare provider, Montessori school. I have to name all these because I want you to know, basically, if you operate a childcare and you provide a childcare service, it doesn't matter what type, but I help you gain a better work-life balance if you're exhausted. I'm going to be sharing with you my daily classroom management walkthrough checklist. So this video is going to be more of like a resource type of video. But before we hop in, as always, if you are just joining or tuning in, or you're new here, you're a new subscriber, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited for you to be here. If you are a regular and you have been tuning in week after week after week, I want to say welcome back. So glad to see you back here. And if you're someone that just stumbled upon one of my videos and you are interested, or you're like wondering, should you subscribe or should you not? Let me go ahead and help you answer that question. Yes, you need to subscribe. If you are a childcare owner and you are looking for tips on work-life balance, then this is definitely the place for you to be. So nonetheless, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell so that you're notified of when I post up videos, and go ahead and get you something to sip on. For anybody that's new here, that's what we do here. I really want to make these videos something that is just a place for you all to come to, just really learn, but also just take a little me time. So we're going to be spending about 15 to 16 minutes a day, 17, no more than 20 minutes. I am going to hopefully give you some valuable information. So go ahead and grab you something to sip on, get comfortable. Let's go ahead and take a sip, and let's dive into today's video. Okay, so let me kind of give you the backstory of how I even came up with this video topic and how this all came about. So inside of our private Facebook group community, I typically post a question every week, and I just call our conversation for the week. And so I post a question, and I had asked the owners in there, and I said, what is one hard lesson that you feel like you've learned, being an owner of a childcare business? And so we had just loads of conversation happening on that post. And one person said, wish that they would have like really started out with more of a clear vision in regards to how they wanted their classrooms being managed. And they really wish that they had a way to ensure that staff was consistent with the management of what happened every day inside the classrooms. And so they were actually, they actually said they wish they had a checklist. And when the word checklist came up and I read that, I was like, oh my goodness, I have a checklist that I did when I ran my center. And so I went in and I updated the checklist and freshened it up for everybody. And so I'm going to go over that with you today. So if you're looking for a way to really get your staff to be more consistent, I know a checklist sounds like something that would not work, but let me explain to you how I used it and how I implemented the checklist. You are going to really be able to take away this resource today and be able to apply it in your center, school, or program, and it should be able to help you like it's helped me. So here is what you need to create this checklist. So I'm going to go over 5 things that you want to do to actually put this whole thing together. So the very first thing is you've got to have a vision, okay? And not only do you need to have a vision, but you need to actually write your vision down. And so what you want to ask yourself is, when you actually walk or enter into your center, your program, your school, what is it that you want to see? Like, what do you, in a perfect world, what is it that you would want to see happening? And so, what you'll want to do is use the five senses to really envision that and bring that to life, but you want to do it on paper, okay? So you do want to write this down. So what I did before I even created a list, I created a vision. Remember, there was one day that I was commuting to the center and I had this vision in my head, and then when I got there, it was not like anything of what I thought, and I was just like, you know what? This is not what I want for my childcare business at all. So again, I took some time out to really write that out, lay that out, use the five senses. What is it that you want to hear when you walk in? What is it that you want to see happening when you walk in a classroom? What do you want to smell? Just really tap into those five senses and really, really lay out that vision, and then really dump that out, dump your brain out, so to speak, and really document that and write that down on paper. Now, you'll want to do this for your morning, your midday, and your afternoon. So I basically had a vision for each part of the day, okay? So example, one of my visions was at nap time, I didn't want teachers to be on their cell phone, okay? So that was one of my visions that was a part of my checklist, but you do want to have it for each part of the day. Now, the second thing that you want for this checklist is you want a way to document this, okay? So this is how the checklist came into play. So obviously I had this vision, and when I did the vision, I really journaled everything out. And then I took all of that and I put it into like a really structured format way, which turned out to be a checklist. But you really want to document this. So make it a checklist. Also have this a part of your SOP, have it a part of your standard operation procedures and in manuals or wherever else that you would put that information at. But you definitely want to have a way to document it. Now, this is the third part, or the third thing that you need on this list. And I think this is kind of where a lot of owners kind of miss the mark, is actually communicating it with your staff. So you want to have a way to communicate what's in your head with your staff, and not a verbal communication, but they also need to see this checklist, okay? So I know that I kind of made the mistake, I guess, verbally telling them, like either during a training or at a staff meeting, or sometimes even just when I walked in the classroom, but that did not stick with them like it sticks with me, because it's in my head. So I see it every single day, right? I see the vision every day, but they don't necessarily see it. And I used to kind of think that just if I just communicated with them verbally, they would just get it, but they didn't. So that's where putting it somewhere, okay? So I actually created my checklist and I had it on the wall, in the classroom somewhere. It was more geared towards the teacher's area, so whether it's on her desk or wherever, and I had it on the wall. And then now, of course, back in my day, the tablets and iPads wasn't really used like they are today, but now I would definitely have this, on an iPad or a tablet that the teachers use. So like if they do use, iPads or tablets to do the app, the daily report app or whatever that you use, I would definitely put it on there as well. Now, the very fourth thing that you want to put in place to actually build this checklist is you want to actually have a way to execute. Now, before I continue, you are going to get access to this checklist. However, it is only inside of my private Facebook group community. So I do want to kind of insert that in right now, because you're probably like, where's the checklist, Ashley? I got you, but it's only inside of our private Facebook group community. So there is a link down below. Be sure to join us. And you actually are going to get this checklist with the more in-depth training, okay? Okay, and so you want to have a way to execute. Now, this is what I did to execute this and to make sure that this happened every single day. I did 3 daily walkthroughs, which is why I call it my walkthrough checklist, okay? And so I would do 3 daily walkthroughs. I would do one in the mornings, one at noon, and then one right before parents would start to come in. And these walkthroughs took about 30 minutes each. Now I had 3 classrooms. So if you have more classrooms than that, then that might, take a little bit more. But the benefits of doing these walkthroughs was like, there's so many benefits to it. And one of the benefits is that this allowed me to leave my center at 3:30 every day. So before I actually implemented the checklist and the walkthroughs, no telling what time I would get done, right? but this allowed me to actually leave my center at 3:30 every single day, be confident in what went on while I was away. So that was another benefit, just being relaxed and knowing that, you know what? I feel good about what's happening there. I know that they got it, and I know they're going to be consistent because those walkthroughs really help them be consistent with what I wanted to see happening every day during each part of the day. And it also provided great, excellent customer service. And I like to call this my Chick-fil-A style is what I like to call it. Because I am consistent with doing the walkthroughs and using the checklist, they are consistent with what I needed. In conclusion, because I really want to add to this, and what I want to say is that there is one thing though that is kind of missing to actually making this checklist really work the way that it needs to, and that is having the right staff in place. And so this all leads back to that staffing ecosystem that I actually talked about in my last video. So be sure to check that out. I'll make sure to leave it up above or somewhere. Be sure to check out that video in regards of how to build a staffing ecosystem, because that is really what helps the checklist work and anything work. And it really is just what helps for your team to be consistent. I will say this though. Now, I did implement this checklist when I did not have the best of team or the best of teachers and staff members, and it still worked great. But again, it really goes back to having the right people in place. And so I know that we were actually talking in our Facebook group community. One of the owners was saying that one of the things that she's really learned from our private Facebook group community, and just from me and just everything that, that goes on here on this channel, is that she's really learned to work the processes and the systems, and then, find people to do that. So instead of like really focusing on getting people to do what you need to do, build the systems and the processes, and then find the right people, find the right fit, find the right person that's going to carry that out. And so again, the staffing ecosystem with the checklist and all the other layers that I teach here on this channel is really just going to help this thing work for you. Okay, so I really, really hope that this video, this checklist, this resource has helped you. And again, now here's the deal. I did a full-blown, more in-depth training inside of our private Facebook group community, and the checklist is there for you to download, okay? So the training that I did inside the community group was like 15 minutes more extra of what you're getting here. So if you would like to actually go in and watch the full training and really get more in-depth information on really how to do this, and actually get the tangible checklists that you can print off and use in your own center and use as an example, then you gotta get over into our community group, okay? Your membership is totally free, and so there should be a link down below for you to access your free membership and join us, okay? All right, again, thank you so much for being here. Be sure that if you have not subscribed to this channel and you have made it all the way through, you gotta subscribe, because I just gave you some goods right here that you don't wanna miss out on the next time that I post up a video. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, hit the little bell so that you're notified of when I post up videos, which is weekly. And if you're getting started, there is information down below to help you with that. So I have a full-blown training. There is a free download for you as well. So y'all listen, this is just the place to be, okay? So go ahead. Oh, and give this video a like as well. Give me a like for all the hard work that I'm doing here on this channel. I love what I do, but it is work. It is work to it. And so whenever you hit that like button, that really is almost just saying, thank you, Ashley. Thank you for this free, valuable information. And it is also supporting this channel. So, all right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I am sending you my prayers of encouragement and success your way. You got this. And I'll see you in the next video.